going on, y'all? Welcome back to the chaos. I'm Ryan, and we linked up with Zeno today. Unfortunately, he's got a little chaos going on in his life, so not me today, but it's Zeno. Yeah, unfortunately, you have a 2011 Nissan Altima.
Yep.
That's his daily driver. So he's got a Mercedes as like your kind of fun car now, and you got the Altima, supposed to be saving you money, going to be the most reliable vehicle, and unfortunately it failed you.
Yeah, the transmission went out.
And which is bad because Slam has had an Altima and she had the same transmission issues. Her sister had an Altima, has been through 2 transmissions. So like, I don't know what it is about Altimas or Nissan transmissions. Hopefully I got a Nissan. This is what we're sitting in is a Frontier. So I think they have different transmissions though, but this is,
yeah, we need your Nissan to work.
Right, we got to use this Nissan to tow his Nissan. But out of all the car things I've ever done, I've got the truck set up for hauling, and I got like a little utility trailer, but I've never pulled a car or loaded a car or anything like that. So his misfortune is going to be my learning experience. So we're going to learn together how to tow a vehicle, but we're on the way now to rent a car trailer. Hopefully they have to inspect the truck first.
Right.
So that's step number 1. And I know one of the things I'm missing, I've been kind of riding dirty when I drive my trailer around, is you need lights. So I have the package. Unfortunately, I've just been too lazy to hook it up. So I know we're gonna need these, so that way when we hook up to the trailer will have lights and have power to it. So that's the one thing I think we're missing. Otherwise, I think I check all the boxes. So let's head on over to U-Haul and get the truck inspected.
Ryan is a lifesaver.
I try. Well, U-Haul was very fast. That was in and out. They didn't even look at the truck whatsoever, but I know tomorrow, once we actually go, so we just made the reservation to pick the car trailer up, but I know tomorrow they're definitely gonna wanna see that we have lights for the trailer itself. So that's what we're about to work on, is installing our little wiring kit. It should be pretty easy. It looks like 2 plugs, a plug on the interior of your truck, and then back here, because the truck kind of comes pre-wired. Like I was telling Zeno, it's like 90% done. It's just a matter of, we got to get that last 10% with the wiring harness. So let's jump into that. This is the kit that we're going to be installing. It's specifically made for this is a 2016 Nissan Frontier, but it'll work from 2005 up, it says. So that's what we're going to be installing today. Step 1 is actually going to be removing the interior trim, so that way we can get to the relay and all. So we're just going to pull the kick panel off. So we're actually going to take our wiring harness, and so the bigger end, there's an unoccupied wire in there. We're just going to connect that, but then before we actually jump into the truck, the blue relays that come with, why they don't come already connected, but we're just going to connect these up. So white to blue, white to blue, and then brown to brown. That way we're good to go. Now we can go throw this in the truck itself, but make sure it clicks into place. But then we'll go throw this, and that should be it. Then we're going to tuck our wires really good, put our panels back. Well, we got the interior all put back together and all wired up. It is just really that simple. Once you put the relays on, get those clicked in, and it's just that one unoccupied wire. Make sure you get your pins lined up. The problem I was having was I was trying to put it in upside down originally, but you're working in a small, tight space, so that's half the problem, half the battle. It took me longer than it probably should have, but interior's done, buttoned up, so let's jump under the truck and see what we have left to hook up. Because it only came with 2 more things: the plug itself, and then our cable that this will hook here. This goes underneath the truck. Hopping under the truck, we're actually be looking for 2 plugs, gray and a black. They're along the frame rail. We're gonna pull the dust covers off, and we're just replacing those dust covers with the actual wiring for our trailer lights. These are your 2 plugs that you're actually looking. Like I said, they're just mounted on your frame rail here. So we're just gonna pull these dust caps off. Now that we have our dust caps off, what we're actually gonna do, so all it is like this pigtail. So these attach to the frame rail where our dust caps just came off of. But the key, we're gonna run this through the actual hitch itself, because the 7-way plug that's gonna attach to our hitch, this will not feed through because it's too big. So we need to run these little pigtails through the hitch first. That way we can clean up, have a nice clean install and not have just wires slopping everywhere. So let's run these little wires through our hitch and then plug them in. Now we got everything plugged in underneath the truck, we're gonna clean up some wiring. So right now, I'll show you in a second, but we kind of have like a little rat tail hanging out back here is what it looks like. So we got to make sure we get that tucked up and out of the way, so that way it doesn't rub. The wire is loomed, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I just don't want to make contact with anything out of the way, suspension, stuff like that. So let's get some zip ties and zip tie our rat tail out of the way. So our next dilemma, not only are this is the rat tail that I was referring to, so we're going to zip tie this out of the way, but they actually make a mounting bracket for our 7-way plug, and it's meant to mount where you lift the lid upwards. But because I don't have that mounting bracket, I think we're just gonna temporarily zip tie it into place. So I'm gonna zip tie it where we actually have functionality. So our little lid will flip downwards. But again, this is all temporary with zip ties. Well, not the wiring. We're gonna make sure we get that nice and tucked like it should be. But as far as like our actual 7-way tie-in, that's gonna be temporarily mounted on our zip ties until I get the perfect mounting bracket for it. I thought the hitch itself came with a mounting bracket, which maybe it does for a different type of wiring harness, but the one that I have is meant to be mounted, I guess, perpendicular to the ground, versus this one is parallel. So we're making do with what we got. So here's the temporary, like I said, want to stress the fact that it's temporary setup, but I mean, give it a good, it ain't going nowhere kind of deal. So it's tucked up in there, zip tied tight, but I ended up wrapping this loomed wire just around our bar here, and that made it, tucked it nicely out of the way. Nothing's gonna snag on it, so we should be good for tomorrow. The truck is all set up to tow now. I'm gonna call it a night because we got a big day tomorrow. So that'll be, like I said, a new experience. I hate it for Zeno, but I'm excited for the fact of being able to tow for the first time again, because all I've had is a little utility trailer. So towing a vehicle is gonna be awesome and something to look forward to. So we will catch y'all tomorrow. And just like that, we're back, day 2. So I was just telling Zeno, of course, the weather's gonna throw us a wrinkle. So again, this is a learning experience for me, kind of both of us. Neither of us have done this before, but yeah, the weather isn't cooperating, so it's just starting to rain. So that kind of sucks. But
on top of the auto place that they may not be able to help us load the car, so we'll see how this goes.
Which I'm curious, because like I did have you ask if it would go into neutral and all. So yeah. I mean, like, yes, it will, but that almost makes me wonder, does it have any gear whatsoever?
Right.
Like, can we get in it and potentially force it onto? I mean, the transmission is blown at this point anyway, so like you can't do further damage.
You can't really do too much worse than what it already is.
Exactly. So I'm hoping, yeah, if we can't get guys to help us, then hopefully we can at least, we need it on the trailer. That's the whole moral of the story. But yeah, with that being said, let's go grab the trailer. Trailer secured, so that was pretty much the easy part. The U-Haul trailer is pretty straightforward, not too complicated, which is a good thing because I like things elementary. But we're going to actually go pick up the car now, so we're headed to the shop. Now comes the moment of truth. Can we get the Altima on the trailer? So we made it over here safely to the shop, but yeah, it's go time. Let's load this Altima up. Gino says we're good, so I'm taking his word for it. He got us all strapped in. But honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as like how easy that was, because again, this is new to both of us. So some of y'all are probably laughing like, man, how have y'all never attempted anything like this? But that's just the facts. I haven't done it. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would honestly say like a 5.
Yeah, because I mean, for having no experience doing it and that being the first time, yeah, I'd say it's about a 5 out of 10 difficulty.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use some muscle to make sure, because again, like those, it's like this net that grabs onto the tire, and that's what's really holding that car on the on the trailer right now. But strap those bad boys in, eat your Wheaties, and muscle it up. But otherwise, yeah, that, and then 2 chains, one on the front axle, one on the rear, and you're good to go. I
think pushing the car on the ramp was the hardest part.
It took, how many people ended up coming out?
That was 5. There was a guy that got out of his truck to help.
Nice. So yeah, but we were also on an uphill, so that didn't help things. So yeah, but yeah, so we got a hour and a half-ish journey ahead of us. So wish us luck. After a long drive, we successfully were able to drop the Altima. So Nissan Inception. So we had the Frontier. We were able to tow successfully, no issues.
No problems.
Everybody was kind to us on the road because we were having to go a lot slower. Just again, those of you that have done this before are probably just like laughing at us hysterically. But again, this is 100% new to both of us. So we were taking it easy, taking it cautious. But we were able to get down there, drop the car off, no problems, and get all the way home and drop the trailer off. So I now can say I have that skill set. I'm not gonna volunteer, this is not gonna be my new day job.
You're not gonna broadcast it.
No, exactly, absolutely not.
Shout out to my boy Ryan. Saved me $470 by being able to make friends with people who have trucks.
I was about to say, you always hear people that have basketball goals and people that have car trailers end up being people's best friends. Yeah, and I can see why. But we survived and avoided the chaos. And like I said, that was the best part, is being able to help somebody else, help them save some money, because it was going to be, I don't know, a whole lot more expensive to have to tow a vehicle based on an hour and a half. So that I couldn't stand by and let that happen. So I really appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Make sure you do so. There's all kinds of different content on this channel. We're exclusively unexclusive. We love all types of vehicles, Altimas.
And leave some comments.
Sports cars, everything. But thanks again for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.